our designers have come around with a new battlecruiser design, given that the Mackinsons were, I think, a battlecruiser 2 hull, which is significantly smaller and weaker than this new one. I am kind of interested to get another battlecruiser going. So let's see, in the month that we've had, if we can build another, maybe just 2 ships, 1 or 2 ships of this. But let's see what that's going to be starting to look like. Liking that. I'm liking the design of this. So let's see what we've got available. So the Mackinsons were sort of a long range with 12 330mm guns. What can we do? We only have, we've only got the 330s at Mark III. The 356s are still Mark II. So I'm gonna stick with the 330s. But maybe more of a successor to the Derflingers, so more something that is geared towards closer range engagements, and that is significantly speedy. All right, then let's begin with the main tower, and it conveniently comes with a little barbette in front here. We'll stick that over there, and some form of rear tower also comes with a barbette, which is nice. So I think this is about as far backwards as we can put it, and this might even be a funnel space. So let's see what we can put in here. This would be let's see. What's the design speed of this hull? Because I definitely want these things to be fast. 28.5 knots. So that's what. Let's put her to 28 knots for starters. And we are going to use oil fuel and geared turbines. And let's see what kind of funnel we need for that. And I think that is the largest funnel that we've got available. Although it is not quite as good at damage control. So I might actually go with let's see what the central funnel is looking like. And I fit that onto the rear of this design here. Sort of. That's not sufficient in terms of engine efficiency. What if we do that into induced boilers? Not enough. Forced boilers, still not enough. So unfortunately we might need twin funnels on this thing, because I don't think even the largest funnel here that we have is going to be sufficient, and I think we may actually have space for 2 here. So what if we use the smaller variant of it? I mean, the central crane funnel is kind of nice, but it's also got a really large section of, well, central cranes, as the name suggests. So maybe we use this one. This one doesn't give us any damage control improvements. Can we fit that 2 of them on there? Yes, I think we can. And that gives us 116% engine efficiency with natural boilers. So we could go up to balanced boilers if we wanted to. That is going to cost a little bit of displacement, however. But given that we're still going to put some weight onto them. Let's start out with balanced boilers and see what we can do with the whole thing. Given that we can't we can still move the rear superstructure forward. But I want to see first where I want to stick the secondaries, because this is quite a long ship, 34,000 tons displacement. So let's put some main guns onto that, and we are going to go with 330mm triples, I think. Although they do take longer to reload, but it is just, let's see. We'll put one here, one forward. We might go with twins just for the one here and one here. That would be 27,000 tons. So we don't really have an awful lot of this. For no, I think I'm going to go with twin turrets, just because they reload a bit quicker. And 330mm twin barrels. And let's remove that. That is just something that is nice to have for a more close range oriented ship, like we are designing this to be. And one more turret on the rear superstructure. There, okay, so we've got 8 guns versus the 12 on the Mackinsons, which are like a little bit more long range designed for. Okay, let's get everything else in, and then we'll start seeing what we can add on in terms of secondaries. We do have a significant forward offset, so maybe we can move the whole forward superstructure just rearwards, and that should allow us to move that turret forward over here. It's still quite a bit of a forward weight offset, but we've still got some casemates that we can put in that we can balance things out with. All right, so what do we have by now? Auxiliary engines and a better shaft for turning rate. Yes, because we are planning to be a little bit more aggressive with these ships. So electric steering might not be bad, and I don't want to go unbalanced. I'm going to stick with a balanced rudder. And obviously we want the best Krupp armor that we've got available and the best barbettes. Same goes for torpedo protection 3, which gives us enhanced side armor and triple bulkheads, which is good. Double bottom hull, reinforced bulkheads, and advanced pump systems against flooding. And citadel-wise, advanced armored citadel. Yes, definitely, that's what we want. Okay, so 29, that is relatively heavy already. So if we start putting on some secondaries, what do we have? This is all Mark II still. So I am tempted to try the 128mm Mark III's triples, actually. Let's see what that looks like. What we could do is three triple turrets instead of 4 twins. That should be a bit better weight-wise, because at 29,000 tons right now. There's a lot, actually. Doesn't give me an awful lot here. So what if we did a 330mm triple turret design like this, but only had a single turret aft? That is almost the same, actually. 29,000 tons, so it does not make a massive difference, really. Yeah, in which case I'm probably going to stick with the twin barrel design. I mean, we could always go with 3 twins and make it really more focused towards secondaries. Yeah, it's marginally like it's about the same. It's only marginally heavier to use 4 twins. Yeah, let's stick with that for now and see if we can fit 128mm triple barreled secondaries onto this thing. Do we actually have space for these? Yes, we do. On this. Oh, can we fit any on the forward superstructure here? Not quite. We could put a couple on the rear, which would help with the for weight offset problems that we're having. So we could put a pair here, and we could possibly get a pair forward, and let's put a pair on the side here, actually, like that. Does it fit? Not very well. So maybe we can put another pair of 128mm secondaries here. Okay. And then we have some center line things for smaller firepower. Still got a forward weight offset quite significantly. And can I move the engine spaces any more rearwards? I cannot. In fact, now I don't even find a spot anymore where I can fit that funnel in. There we go. Okay. So let's get these up to. We do need a rangefinder still. Coincidence, I think, is more lightweight, so we're going to go with a coincidence rangefinder. And I would like these to be 128mm guns. And what barrel length do we have on these things? 53. That's actually not bad, so I think we can work with that. It leaves us 4,000 tons that we can use. We've got a couple casemates. I'm actually just going to do 88mm casemates, I think. Actually, no, I can't fit 88s down there. 105s? Yeah, I can fit some 105mm casemates in here. I'm not really feeling the casemates that much, to be honest. how much do they weigh? 22 tons compared to a yeah, compared to a triple, which weighs only half of that almost. So I think we're gonna we're gonna leave the casemates out and instead see if we can find a spot to add 105mm guns in. So here sideways, and a second 105mm battery on the rear somewhere if we can fit it. Doesn't look like. So we're gonna have a weird mix a little bit here. A weird mix of we can fit a single center line because we've still got a forward weight offset to deal with. A single center line 105mm here, although that is a bit weird. What's the difference really between the 128s and the 105s? Because they're both Mark IIIs. These have a 25-second reload. These have a 14-second reload. Okay, that is significant. So maybe we'll ditch the 128s. How much more damage do they do? So at 7,500 meters, the 128s are going to do 36mm belt pin versus 34 from the 105s. Yeah, I think I'm going to ditch the 128s. They're not that much better, and they just take a lot longer to reload. So we'll just put a couple more of the trusty 105mm, and then we'll plaster a bunch of 88s on this thing as well. So let's put one forward, one aft, one here. Can we fit 105mm up here? Can we do triple 88s and fit those anywhere? Because that would be kind of interesting. But I think no mounting points on the superstructure for the 88s. They are too large, I think. 51mm triples. Even those we can't really fit anywhere. So that superstructure bit here is really not giving me an awful lot of options. I think these are mounting points for the casemates. Yeah, these are casemate mounting points. I don't really want to put casemates on, but I don't think I have a choice. 51mm twins? No. I think there's really no good spot anymore for fitting. I'm not sure I'm liking this superstructure. I'm gonna check if because well, it's okay. Yeah, you need to go. It's sort of nice with the built-in barbette, but there's really no space to put anything on it. How much better is it? Okay, that is significantly better. Okay, we'll put it back if we can, that is. Okay, I'm gonna have to... Can I undo? No. Nope, can't undo that. Okay. Alright, so let's redo that here. Get rid of that funnel there. Okay, that's better. And try to fit that superstructure back in. There we go. Nope. Please leave it in. I am trying to fit that in here. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Now we can fit that up here, and then we can fit our... Okay, now I wanted the 105mm triple barrel secondaries. Let's put one there. And I think we had one here on the side, and we've got one in the forward area. And I don't think that gets too... it actually does get in the way of the forward turret quite a bit. Yeah, I'm not super happy with this superstructure, because I think... Can we fit 88mm casemates on it? Yes, we can. So let's plaster that with 88mm casemates. And then I think there's nothing really we can do with this deck space up here, which is a little unfortunate. I mean, it looks nice and it gives really good values, but it's not the greatest. We still have a lot of forward weight offset as well, so there's not an awful lot I can do here. I can move this. I don't want to move the rear turret down here, although that would solve my problems, but that would move the armored citadel way longer. So I think that's going to be actually costly. Yeah, that is going to be somewhat costly in terms of of Citadel, because then I have to move the Citadel all the way there. And in fact, can I move these? Can I move these back a little? No, I can't fit these in here as well. So that's just where they're going to be. All right, so let's fix the values. The case these are 105s, and these are 88s. What else can we fit? Can we fit 50mm casemates? Do we have any mounting? No, we don't have any mounting points for these. So 88mm, no. We could fit 105mm casemates, but I think I'd rather spend the remaining. These are really heavy and they're not that great. I think I'll rather spend the remaining the displacement on armor, because that's a big ship, and while she's quick, we haven't fit anything else in yet. Okay, so let's deal with things. We want enhanced reloading if we can. And we probably want advanced hydraulic turrets. Okay. Tube powder. What's our explodey ratio? Let me find it. It's somewhere in here. There we go. 12% flash fire chance with tube powder. And with cordite, that would be 50%. Yeah, that's why I don't want to load cordite. The British have had bad experiences with that. We do have dunite right now. I'm going to make that TNT 2, which even further reduces the flash fire chance. And we definitely don't want max HE shells. We probably want a standard ratio, to be honest, because we are going to be facing destroyers as well. So let's... increased HE on the secondaries, and we are going now. What's our penetration here at a range where we can actually hit something? So 7,500 meters, 357mm penetration with a semi-armor piercing, and we are doing 1,000 points of damage. We could go to semi-ballistic. That would give us 450mm penetration at 7,500. But that is standard armor. So with the Corp armor having plus 110%, we'll have to effectively halve that. So this would be kind of like 275mm pen at almost the same damage. And if we go Cap Ballistic 2 all the way into pen, we have 800mm pen on the main guns, but only half the damage. Honestly, I think, how much am I going to need in terms of penetration, really? We could just go with APC, standard capped shells. That gets us to 500 and doesn't significantly reduce it. Or we could stick back with the semi-ballistic. But the penetration really is losing out here. This would be struggling probably against battleships, but she might have enough penetration to deal with enemy cruisers, and she would do an absolutely metric ton of damage. So maybe we'll try that. Semi-ballistics and HE shells. What's the penetration on with the semi-ballistic on the secondaries? Yeah, the 105s don't do an awful lot. So. And the HE has absolutely no pen. So the HE wouldn't even manage to penetrate destroyers. What does that look like with nose fuse? Still not great. It's base fuse. Yeah, now we're starting to talk. So that's probably what we need to actually penetrate destroyers. Although we could probably fire armor piercing at destroyers with the semi-ballistics, because that's effectively a subshell, and that has just enough penetration to do ridiculous amounts of damage to the destroyers. And for that, and then we could switch back to the high capacity HE shells, which means that these 105s wouldn't penetrate anything, but they would probably be doing a fair amount of setting a fair amount of fires. Because that would be plus 75% fire chance. Yeah, we're going with high capacity HE shells on these. Standard shell rounds. We don't want reduced shells. We could go with heavy shells for a change. Not something I'm normally doing. It gives us a bit more range and pen, but quite costly, and it affects the reload time, and it affects the accuracy. Light shells, I don't feel we have the caliber advantage over the enemy just yet. Give us a radio and a basic hydrophone to spot torpedoes, and that leaves us with just over 4,000 tons for armor, which we're going to need, because that armor is not going to hold up even with 120% quality. So I would love to have a 300mm belt on this, and at least 150mm forward belt. We still got a forward weight offset and 150mm aft belt. 120 mils main deck if we can, and we'll do 100mm forward, and we'll just use the, let's see if we can use the deck plating to balance the ship a bit. So we give her more aft deck. 330 conning tower is fine. Superstructure, I'd love to have a bit more. And citadel armor, please put as much in as you can. 72mm first deck inner, 150mm first belt, and 120mm second belt. That gets us relatively close, so we can now work with the turret armor. Let's give her 300mm on the turret faces and 100mm on the turret roof. The 105mm, I mean, they can get a little bit of, no, they can't get much. Are they open? Are they open mounts? Is that what it is? I think, let's see if we can spot that. Yeah, I think these are open mounts, so they don't really have a turret face. Okay, so we'll just do 50mm top, 40mm on the side. The 88s on the casement definitely don't need armor. If we lose those, it's not so bad. And we've got 105 88, all good. That means we've got 500 tons displacement to spare, so we can still crank up. We still got a forward weight offset, so let's just get the aft belt a little bit increased. What? Oh, I don't have any funnels. Oops. Which one was I using? I think I was using this one. 2 of those. Okay, now we're actually overweight. Oops. Yeah, it does help, but we are using balanced boilers. If we go back to natural... Oh, we are significantly overweight, actually. Natural boilers are sufficient. I did not notice I didn't have funnels. Oops. Okay, we're gonna have to scale back on the armor on things a little bit. So let's drop the side armor. How much is that gonna give us? Not much. We are gonna have to drop the armor a little bit because we actually now 400 tons over. I did not notice that I didn't have funnels on. Am I gonna get away with a single funnel on this? No. I tried it earlier, I just wanted to double check it, but we might be able to. This is a 570, this is a 525. So I might be able to take one smaller. There we go. We're still overweight by 300 tons, but we can drop the... Let's drop the belt armor down a little bit. Let's drop the deck armor down a little bit to 110. The aft deck can drop down. The problem is we need to balance the ship still, and the only way I can do that really is the deck armor. Or the belt armor, really. So now we're within displacement. This time with funnels. It's not the most stable ship out there, but not really gonna mess with beam and draft all that much. We've got really good range on this thing, and this is not going to be the Großer Kurfürst. This is going to be the Prinz Heinrich. There we go. Nice little battle cruiser. We've still got too much of a forward offset for my taste, really. Can I move the turrets anywhere? Not really. They're already slightly affected. And I can't really move that whole shebang aft anymore. The only thing I could do was move that turret down. But then that would cost me displacement again because of extended belt armor. So let's see what we can do in the aft. Aft deck. Okay, now we're overweight. Can't do that. Aft belt. We could. I mean, 6% forward weight offset I'm not happy with. But, okay, let's see. I don't think I can move this structure anywhere further in the rear. Yes, that's about as far as we go. So, don't think, unless I'm really going to start compromising the forward armor, I'm not going to be able to do an awful lot about this anymore. That's too much. So I think that is unfortunately something we're just going to have to live with. Quirk of having this nice little superstructure in here, which gives us some really good values in terms of accuracy, but has the disadvantage that we're slightly forward biased on this design. Anyway, so a new battlecruiser design with all the modern trimmings, relatively fast, not the best armored ship out there, but I'm quite happy with that. So let's save that design. And I think I also had a new destroyer design. Let's see. I think there was a new... Yes, we have the... do we have a light cruiser design that is not awful at this point? I don't think we do. This is still the old kind of light cruiser that gets blown out of the water extremely quickly. However, we have a Destroyer 3 design. We apparently have skipped the Destroyer 2 hull, which is generally a little larger, but other than that, very similar. Now, the difference is not massive. The only thing, it's a little harder to sink and marginally faster, but other than that, it's still very, very similar. So I think I'm going to hold off on destroyers until we have triple launchers and torpedoes, maybe. And then we might be doing that again. So for now, it's the Prinz Heinrich, which is a very German looking and it's generally very pretty battlecruiser. And the next generation of battlecruisers that we are going to bring in, I'm going to get a nice shot of her, like that maybe. There we go. There we go. New battlecruiser incoming. So let's, where is she? Prinz Heinrich, 1914 design year. Let's build 2 battlecruisers of the Prinz Heinrich. And Friedrich der Große is a little bit, well, why not? Let's build 2 of those. It's gonna take 2 years for them to actually come into being, but we'll build them in Hamburg. And how is our capacity? I think we are... Yeah, we can actually increase our shipyard size, so it gives us something to do. But we've got some shipyard capacity to build some more ships, and I think all in all, we're in a good position. So, that's it first for me today. On the land, just a quick update on that. On land, the Austro-Hungarians are still trying to make progress in Ukraine. But it looks like they are slowly starting to get stuck here. And at the same time, we have been the French have reinforced the lines in northern France. We're sort of stuck there, and unless the Americans are pumping significantly more troops into this, I'm not sure if we're going to do much of a breakthrough. But we'll get back to that in one of the next episodes.